Hi, it's Brian here at Fitzpatrick's Garage, Dublin Road, Kildare. I want to show you this car here, which is a really nice 2015 even, 1.6 diesel sport version of the Honda Civic. Real nice car, one owner from brand new with a full documented Honda service history. Just very quickly, before we look at the car, we are a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years, with locations basically in Carlow, Naas, Tullamore, and here obviously in Kildare town, as we were saying. There's Mercedes, there's Honda, and there's Hyundai all here. But the whole idea here is it's a family-run business in operation for almost 70 years. So if you're spending a lot of money on a really nice car like that, there's definitely going to be an after-sales service. If you want information on this car before you travel, please do give me a call, 086 843 1945. Call, text, WhatsApp, whatever suits. So first of all, starting off the front, let's start off with the engine. In here, this is a 120 brake horsepower engine. It is a really good car to drive because there's 300 Newton meters of torque, which is a lot higher than a lot of the cars that compete in this market. So when you put your foot down, there's really good power. But the great thing about these engines is all day long, these cars are in the region of 65 to 70 miles per gallon, which in litres per 100 kilometres is in the region of 4 to 4.5 litres per 100 kilometres. No bother at all. And the car is 180 euros per year for road tax. If you are looking at 2015 Honda Civics, just be careful, because not to be careful, but there is a pre and post facelift model, and it does affect pricing structures and stuff like that. So if you look at this, it's got a nice big chunky area down around here. So in 2015, when the Type R was on its way to coming in, they actually did a facelift on the Civic to go with it, and the bumpers on the front of these diesels became much more aggressive looking, keeping in line with the Type R that was coming. Daytime running lights all the way down along underneath the headlamp here, and like we were saying, the bigger fatter bumper on the front. It looks really well. Front fog lights are standard on the Sport model, and then parking sensors standard across the front of the car as well. This car looks really well because it's got a white Orchid pearl paint job, which is a pearlescent paint. So when the sun shines in it, it looks really nice. Which is a bit different because a lot of white cars actually, they're a non-pearlescent or non-metallic finish. So this is quite a nice shade of white. Down the side of the car on these facelift models, they had these nice door protectors down at the bottom. Everything as you see in the car includes mirror caps and door handle along here, all colour coded. And then as we move around to the back of the car, there's some nice sections here in black. Lower on the front bumper, as we went into this facelift version, the car had a nice diffuser along the back, which actually looks quite nice as well. And then as we move into the rear window is tinted. There's a tinted section along here as well, and there was a more pronounced spoiler, which you can see on the rear here, and that actually links around to join up with these nice LED taillights as well. In terms of condition overall on the car, the bonnet is in really nice condition. Moving down to the side of the car, the wing, the door, the mirror cap, the rear door, just looking at these wheels, nice condition. Moving down to the rear, this wheel is in nice condition, as is the quarter panel. If we move around the back, the rear bumper onto the boot lid is in nice condition, and round to the rear right hand side quarter panel, rear right hand side wheel, down the side of the car, all in nice condition throughout, and down onto that front right wheel. So if I think you come to look at a car like this, you'll be quite happy with the car in terms of condition overall. The other thing on this car is actually it has some functionality from the key. So if we see at the moment, the front fog lights and the headlights are on at the moment, so we're going to give that a couple of seconds. I've gotten out of the car, I've closed the car, the lights have got to follow me home load, so it's, you know, staying on basically for about 20 seconds afterwards. Now if I open up the car, the lights can come back on, and also if you watch the windows, I can actually let the windows down from the key, or similarly I can lock it. If we watch our windows and our wing mirrors, the wing mirrors have folded in and the windows have gone back up, so it's quite handy. When the weather is warm, lets the air out. When the weather is cold, you get to close your windows from the comfort of being inside your house. Moving around to the boot of the car, so if we open it up, looking on the inside, condition of the boot is all very nice, and then we have options with the boot in the Civic, so I can drop that down and I get a really deep boot. So that is about, if you look from here to here, that's my hand there, it's probably the guts of, my god, I'm really bad at measurements, I suppose it's about 15 centimeters lower than you would get in a normal car. Right, one thing about that is the spare wheel area. However, you can actually buy a spare wheel, and then we can lift up this section as well, but most people choose not to do it, but you can get a spare wheel fitted in there for about 300 euros. Condition of that boot I would describe as excellent overall. Closing down, we have this handle here or this handle here, depending if you're left or right-handed. One thing that people ask about here is Honda are massive into efficiency. This is on the car for the reason being it deflects air off the edge of the car at the end in the most aerodynamic way possible. And one thing about these Civics actually is they've got a really flat section down underneath. So underneath of the car is really smooth, again to improve airflow, and that means your fuel efficiency is improving because of it. These are hidden, so it gives it a more sporty appearance. There is tie locks back here, there's electrics for rear windows. After that then I've got these magic seats, so I can lift this and I can fold that down, and then in through there I can put tall objects. This floor is in very nice condition. The rear of that seat there is in nice condition. The rear of the armrest is in good condition, and then this seat itself is in good condition with ISOFIX and a 3-point safety belt and another 3-point safety belt and another 3-point safety belt over there with a second fixing for ISOFIX child seats. This side is also magic, so I can also lift that up and lock it like I did, and I'm doing all this one-handed holding a camera, so it's really simple. Or similarly then I can fold that seat down forward and it goes flat that easily, again all one-handed, simple stuff. So it's actually a very versatile car, and that's probably why we see so many people in all different kind of sizes, shapes and forms of life driving Civics, because they do so much for so many people. Armrest in the centre with some drinks holders, kangaroo pocket in the rear, and a bit of storage over there on the passenger side. And sorry, condition is quite good on that side. This driver's armrest contains electrics for windows and mirrors. Over here then we have our parking sensors front and rear. So just while we're at the back of the car, I forgot to say to you, there is parking sensors down along here, and there's also going to be a reverse camera. We'll see that in a sec. In terms of the seat, just before I get into it, this driver's seat is in very nice condition, as is this passenger seat down onto the floor. USB connectors and 12-volt outlets and all that kind of stuff contained in through here, so both front passengers or people in the rear can charge their phones. After that then, floor is a little bit dirty for me getting in and out, but this side of the floor is quite good as well. And after that then, I'm going to get the AC going. So I've got dual zone climate, so this side, driver's side over here are independent. I can front and rear windscreen demisters, speed up or slow down the fan where I want the air to blow. As we were saying, I have 6 gears forward, which is going to also incorporate a reverse camera, so dynamic guidelines, if I go right or left or whatever it is telling me what direction I'm going. And this is an Android style radio, which means then that if I go into that, I've got all the functionality I'd have on like an Android phone, but you can, like, obviously you can use your Apple phone as well. Audio's in through here. I've got my phone information in through here once it's set up, settings and all that kind of stuff. Even small things like, we'll say, if you see in the background, that is a dynamic sort of screensaver. If I let the handbrake off, it changes into a more standard one. So just, look, they're only small things, but they're quite nice. And then I've other functionality in here, calendars and browser. I can surf the web and things like that as well. So it's basically like a mini Android tablet. After that then, I can control my iMid screen over here, which is things like my average fuel efficiency, how much fuel I've got left in the tank. Kind of hard to see because this camera is not good. I like Apple products, but this particular product is not brilliant. So it's quite easy for me to see this stuff, but just in the camera it doesn't come out so good. So after that then, all your information is coming up through there. I'm just going to try and get in a bit closer to it without the light getting in the way. God, that's actually, I've never seen it that bad before. So honestly, it's just my camera here is probably not picking it up, that's all. Speedo, you can see, is in through the centre. Unfortunately, it's really bright out today. After that then, we'll say our revolution counter, fuel and temperature and all that. And I wouldn't mind, the thing about it is actually, they're a lovely bright set of clocks at night, so it looks really nice. If anything, they're too bright. But it's just for some reason the camera is not doing a great job here picking it up right now. Cruise control is in through here. Wipers are automated. I've got an econ function which reduces how aggressive my cruise control and my air conditioner is in favour of fuel efficiency. And then Bluetooth is down through there as well, so it is. After that then, it is generally just a nice place to be. But one of the, I suppose, the nicest things I find about these cars is they're efficient, they drive good, but they actually are fun to drive for a diesel car. They're not boring. They actually, when you put your foot down, it's a bit of crack. So if I have a choice of various hatchback cars that I would want to drive home in the evening, granted, I'm into that, some people aren't, but if you want a nice car that's economical but it's actually interesting to drive, then this is definitely something I would recommend trying a drive in, because they're a damn good car overall. And then reliability, obviously the Honda brand name has been linked with that for years. So that is that car there. As we were saying, it's one owner from brand new with a full documented service history. The car will come serviced and checked over from the garage here, and there'll be 12 months of warranty on the car as well. And if you have a trade-in, we will be delighted to take that from you, and if you want to finance your vehicle, we'll be happy to help you with that as well, and we can set it up through the garage here. So that is 152 KK945. If you'd like some information on the car, please do give me a call. If you're down the country and you want to know anything before you travel, 086 843 1945, call, text or WhatsApp. If we'll say the car's of interest and you come to the garage, please do ask for Brian, I'd appreciate it. Hopefully the car's of interest, and thank you for taking time to watch.